Good afternoon, everyone. This Shabbos, we will be reading the Torah portion of Acharei. And at the very end of the Torah portion is a important principle, which is not just about one area of Torah, but which gives us guidance and for the entire Torah, and likewise what it means to be a Jew. And that is, the verse says at the end of the Parsha that we are to shmartem es chukoisai, that we are enjoined to keep the mitzvahs, the statutes, the mishpatim, and the civil laws, and v'chai bahem, and that we should live in them, live through them. And this is the verse, and we know that our rabbis teach us, and Rashi quotes it, that this verse is teaching us that v'chai bahem, we live through doing Torah mitzvahs, v'lo sheyamus bahem, but not that they should lead to our death. And this gives us the very general law that pikuach nefesh, the saving of a life, supersedes for the most part all laws of the Torah. The only three exceptions are the idolatry, adultery, and murder. These are three exceptions that if a person was to threaten us that with loss of life, if we do not transgress one of these three, then the law says that we have to give up our life. But those are the three exceptions. For the most part, the life of the Jew is more valuable, and that we would do the transgression. Maimonides goes even further to say that a person who does give up their life when they are not supposed to, we don't look at that as being a heroic act. We don't look at that as being martyrdom. We consider the person mischayev benafshe. They are culpable for their own demise. It's almost as if they have committed suicide, God forbid. So this is the general law, and what it gives us a insight into is the relationship between a Jew and Torah mitzvahs. And so to speak, to pose the question, who is there to serve whom? Who serves whom? We know that there is a famous Medrash Tanchuma which says that Shnei Dvarim Kodma La'olam. There are two things which were prior to the universe. They are Torah and the Jewish people. But then the Medrash asks the question, but which one is prior to the other? We don't know which one comes first. So the phraseology of the verse, Vayidaber Hashem el Moshe, Hashem speaks to Moshe, and he says, Daber el b'nei Yisrael, speak to the Jewish people. So the Torah pre-assumes that there is an audience there, and that audience is the Jewish people. So we come to the conclusion that the Jewish people are prior to the Torah. Now, prior to the Torah does not just mean that they pre-exist the Torah, but they are prior in the sense of priority, that they are superior to the Torah. And so this law that we do the transgression in order not to lose our life is consistent with and reinforces the notion that it is not so much that we are here to do Torah mitzvahs, but the Torah mitzvahs is here to serve us. So what does that mean? The Torah mitzvahs are here to serve us. So obviously, this is the reason why that when there is a conflict between our life and the performance of the Torah mitzvahs, so if the Torah mitzvahs are here just to serve us, obviously our life is prior. And this is emphasized when it comes to Shabbos, that the purpose of Shabbos is an oath. It is a sign of the covenant between Hashem and between the Jewish people. So if one would have to give up their life in the observance of Shabbos, it would almost be moot, because the whole Shabbos is to reinforce the covenant with the person. If the person is eliminated through the observance of Shabbos, then the greater purpose of the Shabbos is not there. But what does this mean? What does this mean to be a Jew, that the Torah mitzvahs are there to serve us? They are not optional, the Torah mitzvahs. They are mandatory upon us. Not to perform Torah mitzvahs is damaging to the person. When we go out, of course, it's incumbent upon us to go out and to inspire others. Oiv as Aaron did, Oiv as Habrias. He loved people, umekarvim l'Torah, but his love was not just in the abstract. He tried to get them to do the Torah, to learn Torah, to do the mitzvahs. And the answer to that is actually reflected in the beginning of the Parsha, when it talks about this idea that once a year the Kohen Gadol will go into the inner sanctum, will go into the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur. And the meaning of this in a deeper sense is not just the physical building of the Holy of Holies, but that each and every one of us possesses an inner self. That inner self is in soul is the Holy of Holies of the universe. There's the Holy of Holies of the temple, there's the Holy of the universe, which is the innermost facets of the Jewish soul. This is a place which is one with God. This is a place which does not need to do any other activity to bond with God, because it is one with God. On the soul level, we call this the Yechidah, that part of the soul which is already one with God, which cannot be damaged whatsoever by any transgression. We are, though, human beings, and human beings have an inner core, and we have an outer life also. We have a physical life. We have our activities and our general life. Innately, these two do not conform, because our daily life is about perpetuating our physical existence, and our inner core is one which the physical existence is inconsequential. The inner core is just bound up with God as one. And so Hashem gives us the Torah mitzvahs, because in self-cohesion, that we should not be a person split into two, with our inner self going in one direction and our outer self going in an opposite direction. Hashem gives us, and He commands us with the Torah mitzvahs, because only through these 613 mitzvahs is there the ability to create total cohesiveness within ourselves, that our outer self should not be in conflict, but should be one and united and integrated with our inner self. And so this is what it means that the Torah mitzvahs are here to serve the Jew, because the true Jew is, of course, our inner identity, which is synonymous with God, but we need these mitzvahs which tie us together and which bond us. Not only, of course, a mitzvah is a bond, so literally we say a mitzvah bonds us with God. Simultaneously, though, the mitzvahs is really bonding all the disparate parts of our own personality together, and it is leading us to a sense of wholeness, a sense of cohesion, and the only way that a person should truly feel fulfilled when they are living a life which is honest and which is consistent with their inner self. And so this is the message, that, of course, when there is a conflict between the preservation of self and the performance of Torah mitzvahs, first and foremost, the preservation of self must prevail, but not that we should think any less of the Torah mitzvahs. The Torah mitzvahs are the only avenue accessible to us to be truly a whole and a happy human being. So they are not so much, as we say, to serve God, the Torah mitzvahs, but really they are for ourselves. Sometimes it says that it is for ourselves to tame our behavior, and that is also true. It is also true that they are for the service of God, but of equal importance is they are to serve us, that we should attain a sense of fulfillment in life, of wholeness in life, and this is the message of this last mitzvah in the Parsha of Acharei.